Hi there, I'm Lisa Hubner, and today I have with me Charissa Forsythe and Ariel Mejia, and they are going to help me talk to you about the Advent Wreath tradition, which is something we are encouraging families at 12th Avenue to participate in this year. Aaron's provided this booklet of Advent Wreath readings that will be similar to what we're doing on Sunday mornings, but a great way to help you incorporate this tradition in your family's annual Christmas celebrations. So first of all, Charissa, tell us a little bit what the Advent Wreath is, what it represents, when it's done.
Yeah, so the Advent Wreath is done during the Advent season, which is the first part of like the Christian calendar every year. And so that is the 4 Sundays leading up to Christmas. And so each Sunday you light a different candle in remembering both the first coming of Jesus, so his birth, but then also for us remembering the future coming of Jesus. And so the candles represent hope, love, joy, and peace. And so you light one each Sunday and it becomes more light as we look to come out of the darkness and let Christ's light.
Cool. And this was something you guys did as a family growing up. So tell us some of your memories associated with doing the Advent Wreath.
I just remember it being a very special time each night after we did the Jesse tree devotion and put our thing on our Jesse tree. We would turn off the lights and light our candles for the Advent wreath, and then we would do our devotion and sing a Christmas carol. And I was going to read a little bit that I felt like captured the spirit of the Advent Wreath for us, and this is from Lauren Winter's Mudhouse Sabbath book. There seems to be no surer way to sacralize time or space than lighting a candle, and no quieter quiet than the silence of candlelight. Candles are peaceful and transfixing, and also ancient. The just kind of that idea that it created this space that was almost sacred, and it calmed us down and slowed our thoughts and just brought peace. I think lighting candles tends to do that, and I really felt that was significant in helping us slow down and really contemplate the Advent season and the coming of Christ.
Cool. That's great. And you guys had a special part of your tradition. Your family went to Bear Trap Ranch when you were doing international student ministry as a family. So you usually spent Christmas at Bear Trap, right?
Yep.
So tell us how you carried that tradition through your time at Bear Trap.
Yeah, so we had a bigger, not quite this big, but a bigger like Advent wreath at home that we would use, like Ariel said, every night. And then Dad made like a smaller one, probably about like that big. And we would take all the candles that we had used and stick them in a bag and take them up with us at Bear Trap and light the candles at Bear Trap. Sometimes we would do it just as a family, but then sometimes we would do it like during the nightly talk time and with everybody.
Right.
Yeah. And then use like the Christ candle in the center, which is this white one in the center that you light either on Christmas Eve or Christmas. And when we did like our Christmas Eve service, that would be the one where like you take the light to pass the light around.
Cool. Very cool. Well, this is a tradition that you've both chosen to carry into your adult lives. So tell us a little bit why you decided to do that and what that looks like for you.
Yeah, I can go first. So I wanted to carry this because I've been in recent years looking at liturgy. One thing that like stuck with me in looking at more liturgical practices is people say that everything you do forms you. And so looking at like what are things that I can do intentionally that will like form me. And so things from like your body posture to like lighting candles are things that like form you. And so really wanting to be like intentional about my spirituality and remembering. And then also I think especially this year, Advent is like a season of like hope. And so really wanting to make sure that I like focus on hope. So hope in the future coming of Christ, ushering a new creation that is anchored by the first coming of Christ, and how Israel waited for that. I'm waiting for the second coming. And so the Advent wreath kind of like symbolizes like that hope. Like I mentioned earlier, like as the light increases and then the light of Christ, like the anticipation grows. And so that's why I wanted to keep it.
I think for me, just it goes back to that thing that I was reading about, just the quietness and stillness and just being grounded. And it is a tradition within the church, and I find a lot of beauty in it, and it helps me feel like I'm at one with the body of Christ as we celebrate Advent and just look forward to the coming of Christ, both celebrating his previous coming as a newborn babe, but also his coming again, and just being able to be still for a few minutes in the busyness of this season is helpful for me, and I wanted to bring that to my family, and especially now that we have a baby, like it's just something that I want to ingrain in her, and just the meaning of Christmas. It's a good time to sit and really contemplate that, and I want her to really catch that as she grows up.
That's really neat. So I understand you guys have a craft project to do while Carissa's home for Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
So tell us what you're gonna do.
Yeah, so actually last year we bought like craft stuff before for like Thanksgiving, but then we just never got around to it. I think more because you were working then.
Yeah.
And so this year the idea is to finish our like own Advent wreaths. They sell like the outlines at Hobby Lobby, and so we bought those and some greenery, and we're gonna make our own, which should be fun.
Very neat. Yes, and we also have a link on our Advent resource page that has some supplies on Amazon. I didn't know Hobby Lobby had them. Even better, you could run right out and shop local. But so you can find those at 12th.org/Advent, and also at that site you can request any of our Advent resources. If you're attending online, we'd be happy to mail those to you, or you can pick them up on Sunday mornings. So girls, anything else you'd like to add?
If I could read this little bit here, just talking again about Advent. In our communal home, the church, we do indeed have candles at almost every turn of the liturgical year. We begin during the month before Christmas, during which we prepare to celebrate both Jesus coming to earth in Bethlehem and his coming again in glory. We make Advent wreaths out of seasonal greens and 4 candles. Each week, we light one more candle, edging closer out of the darkness of unredemption toward the light of Jesus coming.
Lauren Winter has a way with words. I really like her. Well, girls, thank you for sharing. Last question. You're not prepared for this one, but if anybody wanted to get the pastor like a stocking stuffer, any suggestions? If you don't know, these are Garen's 2 daughters. So copious amounts of Mountain Dew, Doritos.
Pop.
Oh, he's giving a pop?
Yes.
Oh, you heard it here. You heard it here. We can all hold him
the
accountable.
little like Starbucks instant coffee things or
Ah.
Starbucks gift cards.
Awesome. Okay, very good. Well, girls, thank you so much for being with us and for your time today. And I hope you have a beautiful Christmas season.
Yes, you too. Good job.